Okay, I'm back again. One of the main purposes of today's event is to get you to start thinking a little differently. Start believing in yourselves and start giving yourself permission to do things that actually are useful. One of Australia's leading teachers in self-empowerment is right here beside me, Paulina Domeyko Rowland. Listen carefully to what she has to say.
Hello. Thank you so much, Jeff, for the introduction. I want to welcome you all to this gathering. It's so great to see you here. I have 12 minutes to cover a very important topic for us as human beings. I believe it is the most important of all, as it is the source of all our problems and all our solutions. The mind. Taking control of your mind and of your life so that we may connect with and regenerate ourselves and our environment is the most pressing and important challenge we face as individuals and as a society today. Let me begin by sharing a few words about my own life. I always felt powerless, like a leaf in the wind, until I got into yoga, self-development, and meditation. I then went on to train as a yoga, self-development, and meditation teacher. When I started to meditate at the age of 23, I found that that was a turning point, the shift that I was looking for in my own life. I felt like I connected to myself and other people on a whole new level. 3 weeks after learning to meditate, I met my husband, Michael Domeyko Rowland. From 1988 until my husband Michael passed away in January of this year, we had run the most successful self-development and meditation courses here in Australia, as well as presented in the UK, New Zealand, and the US. When we started our seminars over 30 years ago, we wrote down the mission of our work: to shift consciousness in ourselves and on a global scale to uplift humanity and empower individuals so that they can enrich and transform their lives. And also so that the changes that need to happen take place. Michael had taken part in marches against the Vietnam War. And while doing that, he realized that to make a true impact, individuals had to become empowered. He dedicated his life to researching, studying, and teaching on the mind and consciousness, and leaves behind a tremendous legacy of work. What does that mean to shift consciousness? Consciousness is alertness, a person's ability to be aware and perceive. So it means that people can take back the power of their lives to themselves and take control of their own minds so that real solutions can arise and be implemented. Many people doubt the effects of this type of work. You can read about the impact Michael had from the hundreds of students who gave testimonials on learning of his passing on our Facebook page, Paulina and Michael Domeyko Rowland. I plan to continue with our work and keep his legacy available. The wisest people tell us that our outer environment is a reflection of our inner environment. Humans need nature. We are connected to it. So many people talk about nature and the environment as though it's a separate thing. You are a part of nature. You are not separate from it. That's why it's not negotiable to destroy it, to not have it as a top priority. Prince Harry said on his recent tour of Africa that nature is in balance, and what brings it out of balance are we humans. So we have to find a way to restore the balance in human beings. This is the effect of the inner work that we do on our own minds. We restore the balance in ourselves, and this is then reflected in the outer environment through our actions. People want to become empowered. Where the environment and climate change is concerned, I have noticed a feeling of powerlessness in many people around me. Rise to meet the tide. I like that title. So what has to rise to meet the challenges that we face as a community? You, yourself. You have to raise yourself, your own state of being. So what if the power already lies with you? It's time for us as individuals to take back, to connect with this inner power, and then take actions from that place. What if you're waiting for people in power to act? But people power is where it's at. You're just not aware of it. We see that the people in power act in their own interests and the interests of companies and individuals whose priority is not to take care of the environment. Human beings can be brilliant when they are motivated. They can find solutions for anything. Look at the space projects that countries invest in and the incredible achievements and technologies that come from that. In contrast, the truth is that the environment is simply not up there as a number one priority. It comes after business and profits and politics. We have seen recently the effect of the power and influence that can be wielded by individuals who feel empowered. Look at the schoolgirl Greta Thunberg, who began a movement, a series of school strikes. She has mobilized youth to rally on climate change and the environment. She began by sitting outside a parliament building in Stockholm, Sweden, her home country, with a sign, just by herself and some friends, that read, "School Strike for Climate." Look at the huge rallies a few weeks ago here in Australia and in other countries as a result of her actions. This is people power. Thousands of individuals joining together, standing up and speaking out. We have been trained to wait for permission on a subconscious level, to be given the green light on living our own life, our own truth. I say to you, as Michael did in every seminar that he gave, take back the power of your life to yourself. Give yourself the green light and shine that green light of environmental awareness and consciousness through your own actions out into society and the community. The degradation of the environment has been an insane exercise. Just look at the amount of plastic floating in the ocean and killing the fish and the birds and other animals. The self-empowerment methods open up your ability to perceive. By releasing the mind from illusions, they restore sanity. We have all been imprisoned by our past, by the conditioning process. When you shine the light of consciousness on your mind, the darkness disappears. Consciousness is attention, alertness. And as great sages have said, the mind makes a great servant, but a terrible master. We see the effects of this in our environment. What people do is insane. It's irrational. It's destructive. Look at how they set fires to the oil fields in Saudi Arabia recently. What is that if not insanity? The news is full of these stories on a daily basis. The true power lies within us. Take control of your mind, of your life, and make a real difference. One great method to do this is meditation. Meditation is simply inner concentration. It's a means to reset your mind, heal your mind, distress, and refocus into the present moment. We need to wake up, to take action. Actions come from the mind. It is time to take control of your mind and take empowered actions from a place of sanity rather than chaos and confusion. As a great mystic Gurdjieff said, when you start paying attention to attention, everything changes. By this, he meant meditation, staying alert and aware in the moment, in silence. I come to you as a concerned member of this community, of this country, of this planet, to share the knowledge that I have gained from Michael and other great teachers. These teachings will lead to empowered actions and to the creation of leaders. As a gift to you and to society, I would like to give you Paulina Domeyko Rowland's best-selling book, Absolute Happiness, The Way to a Life of Complete Fulfillment, so you have a step-by-step manual of how to take control of your mind and therefore your life, so we can work together to transform the environment from a place of inner power and wisdom, so we can rise to meet the tide in our own lives and in the environment, for our sake and for the sake of our children and their children. They deserve better. This is what the youth is crying out for right now. Everyone should learn how to use their mind. Otherwise, it's like having a supercomputer that is available to you, but you don't know how to use it. It is running itself by the programs put in as we grew up by others. This learning about the mind should take place while people are in their teens, to prepare for the road ahead and stay ahead of the pack. I started reading self-development books at 16, and it helped me tremendously to face challenges and deal with problems as they arise. It has also allowed me to create wonderful experiences in my life. This book, Absolute Happiness, will show you, it will guide you on how to connect to yourself and others on a new level. It will allow you to shift. I invite you to visit our website, www.absolutehappiness.com, to download it. Take back the power of your life to yourself so you can rise to meet the tide. If every individual does this, we will become the tide that rises to create a paradise to live in with one another as a community. We are responsible for this divine planet that we live in. I happen to like it right here on planet Earth. I personally have no plans to travel to Mars. So let's regenerate it together. I invite you to download Michael's book as a gift to get this process going and be guided. I will be walking around and have cards with my details on them for anyone who would like to speak to me. Please say hello and take one if you like. Once again, I welcome you all with love and respect. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Paulina Rowland. And Paulina will be walking around. Come up and have a chat to her. This idea of shifting your mind, shifting your values, shifting your understanding, and giving yourself permission to do things differently. This you can do. Everybody can do it. You don't need to wait for somebody to give you permission. Now, I want to ask a couple of people out there that there's some cars out here at the back of the park. we need to have them removed. There's over there's a blue car parked on the side near the footpath, and there's a utility truck. They have to be removed now. And there's another utility and a grey one parked on the grass behind the Island Energy display. So please, whoever owns those cars, if you could please shift them and put them in the car park or down one of the side streets. They're pretty good looking side streets around here. So your car will be okay.